Hello and welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Check out all my videos on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba. Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. Or simply email me, darthtuba77@gmail.com with requests for unboxings and any other questions you might have. Or leave comments. Okay, guys? Before we get to this awesome spread of Last Jedi awesomeness, okay? At this point, if you are a Star Wars fan, you have probably seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, as I have. I'm on my second viewing now. I'm ready to go see it a third time. Let me give you my thoughts in a nutshell. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was completely different than anything anybody could have expected. And I am very happy that Rian Johnson is kind of in charge of things and will be taking on a new trilogy in the future. Some spoilers, okay? So we'll give it out a spoiler-filled review. Okay, so it was very different. Okay, many would argue that they really delved far away from, in a lot of ways, what previous Star Wars films have done. I'm noticing on sites that it's got a huge critical response, but it has a kind of lukewarm or mixed, fan response. I am going to throw something out here right now. I think that those numbers and that data is skewed. Judging by just the average person that I deal with a lot of people every day in my day job, and I can tell you that the far overwhelming average, overwhelming more than average. Excuse me. Does that make sense? Overwhelming more than average. Whatever. The overwhelming majority of people loved this movie, okay? Even those that had maybe problems with one part or another part still thought it was an amazing movie. And it just left you with all sorts of emotions and, feel-good moments, sad moments, question moments. Like, what the heck was that? What did we just see? Okay, but at the end of the day, isn't that what, even with the questionable and challenging parts, isn't that what you want from a movie? You want to engage discussion. You want to engage theories and ideas, and you want to give plenty of opportunity for people, for young people to play and to imagine and do all this sort of thing. So I thought that movie accomplished all of that. Key areas that I loved. I got to say, great seeing Poe Dameron have a bigger arc, a little more to do. Great to see his interaction with Leia. Oh, Leia, Carrie Fisher. Oh my God. I mean, tears, right? I mean, just amazing. A great way to cap off, her character, her portrayal of this character all these years. So sad, bittersweet to watch her, but, so satisfying as well. Luke, Mark Hamill. I mean, Oscar-worthy performance. He was not the legendary hero that people kind of made out in his head, which I thought was cool because not only was that something that happened in real life, that a lot of people were like expecting Luke to be a certain way and he wasn't, but that kind of reflected itself in the story itself, that he was a legend among the galaxy, and it wasn't like that for him, or at least it might have started that way and it changed. I won't get into the absolute nitty details of the plot, but again, this is some spoilers, so be aware. See the movie first. But his whole demeanor, his whole attitude about things, the mini reunions, him and R2 just on the Falcon. I mean, come on, that was amazing. And then of course R2 shows the footage of Carrie Fisher and young Princess Leia. Give me a break, that was just something crazy. And then the reunion between Luke and Leia. I mean, it was so satisfying, and if it was satisfying enough with just the two actors, in full force, full intensity, right there in the room together, and then you got to throw in John Williams' Luke and Leia score, the one theme that I have not heard repeated since 1983. Really, I think I've heard of almost every other theme been revisited at some point or another. Heck, even Jabba's theme found itself back in Episode 1. So it was so nice to hear this beautiful, romantic, I guess you really shouldn't call it romantic, but, romanticized style of piece. I'm talking in the music history sense. So that was fantastic. And Luke's whole return, walking out to battle or to really just buy time against the First Order for the Resistance members to escape. Just amazing. Just amazing. I mean, everything you would possibly want. I mean, some people wanted more of a lightsaber fight. No. This is not what this is about. We already had that. We had it with an amazing lightsaber fight between Rey and Kylo Ren together in the Praetorian Guards. Oh, unbelievable. They tore that whole place apart. So I'm rambling, I know, but it was just so amazing. So many cool things. Let's talk a little bit about Space Leia, Flying Leia. There are some complaints about that one. Is it unrealistic? And my answer to that is the name of the movie is Star Wars, and it takes place in a galaxy far, far away, which means it's pretend. Okay? And I get it. There are some things that we want to be rooted. Some people want to have certain things rooted in reality to, have a frame of reference, and I get that. But I've learned through science that type of thing being, blown out of an air hole, or of an air pocket or whatever going into space, you don't just explode, through the vacuum of space. I mean, it is something that, you kind of freeze up first. And I think that it made sense that, in the few seconds that Leia was out there, she was able to, with her last bit of consciousness, use the Force to guide herself back in. And then she was unconscious for much of the next, couple of, moments, or I don't know if it was hours or days, but a long period of time after that. So I thought it was okay. I thought that it was kind of neat to see Leia use real Force powers. So good with that. Just loved it. Loved the way I felt so bad for the Resistance. They were getting picked off one at a time. I do have to have a moment of silence in Star Wars universe for the loss of Admiral Akbar, one of my favorite characters. Admiral Akbar. It was a trap. Yes. Anyway, so good, so sad to see him go. But again, we're passing this on now. It's time to pass it on to the next generation, and we're good with that. Okay. So overall, great movie. If you somehow haven't seen it and you watch this anyway, I apologize if you got spoiled. I warned you. But if you have seen it and you love it, go see it again. It's worth it. There's so much going on in that movie. So much going on. And it is a long movie, but it does not feel like a long movie. Okay? If you didn't like it, or there were parts about it that you didn't like it, give it another chance. Go see it again. All right? Try it out. Because there are things that you can take at first and not like, and then you watch it a second time, get a different perspective on it, know what's coming, and it might change your taste and your flavor. I've seen it twice so far, and I loved it both times for different reasons. I can tell you that it is... I do have to say I take offense, not really offense, but I take, exception to the idea that some fans are saying it's too different from Star Wars, because there might be the same fans who... They're probably the same fans who, when Force Awakens came out, said it was too much like A New Hope. And folks, they're movies, okay? You can't make a movie be the same and different. It's got to be one or the other. It can have parts of it, I suppose, that are the same and parts that are different, which I think is what Force Awakens successfully did. But I really feel that this one went into a completely new direction, and I think that we need it. We need that. We need that for the future of the franchise. Okay? For those who didn't like it, you can go back and rewatch the old ones. Okay, whichever ones you liked. But I believe that a lot of the fan response online is skewed only because there are the people that liked it. They liked it. They shrugged their shoulders and then go on with their lives. People that didn't like it are getting very vocal with it. So that's my thought about it. But I don't really care. I know Disney is pretty happy with it. I know that they're gonna continue making. I'm sure they're gonna finish it with Episode 9 along with spin-offs and a new trilogy. So we're excited. Okay, I know I took a long time on that, but I felt it was worth taking the time to do. Awesome movie, and it makes this even more exciting for an unboxer. So excited to be able to unbox the next wave of figures. Okay, we have 6, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, sorry, 8. We have 8 action figures, most of which are Last Jedi, some of which are other. There's a Rogue One, there's a 2 original trilogy, or 1 original trilogy, and also a member of the Last Jedi cast. We'll get back to that character. And then we have one of the 3 packs involving another character. And I got to say, this one, Rose. Okay, Rose Tico, awesome character, great addition. Just somebody more real, somebody more different, somebody just a new kind of character. Glad to see her kind of palling around with Finn. This 3-pack comes with BB-8 and with BB-9E. I would have liked to have seen a little more of BB-9E, but when I watched it a second time, what he did was substantial. He was basically the one who turned them in, okay, at the wherever spaceship they were on. He was the one that, you know, kind of did his duty and turned them in. So, you know, if you want to get a little more fun areas watching him, look for the Verizon commercial that has him in it. It's actually pretty funny. All right. So the other figures we have, well, as I said, from Rogue One, Jyn Erso. We have General Leia Organa. We have Yoda. We have, again, from the original, we have the ObiWan Kenobi or Ben Kenobi. We have R2. We have Rey, but this is Island Journey Rey. I just knocked over DJ. Well, that's all right, because DJ was a bad guy. DJ. And lastly, we have Jedi Exile Luke, which is a little different than the one we saw. We saw him in his white robes at the very end of Force Awakens and a little briefly in the beginning, but we didn't see him too much. He kind of switched over to this one for much of it. All right, so lots of unboxings to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack everything kind of off to the side here, and then we're just going to go one at a time. Now, these all are Force Link, okay? And again, I've mentioned this before. We'll start with Jedi Luke. The Force Link badge to me band here is such a cool concept, such an amazing thing, because now figures can talk without having any kind of foot stand or anything on them. They just need to have that. And again, I mentioned this in previous unboxings. I appreciate them not having a situation where you need batteries for every toy now. Now you can have toys without batteries, just very inexpensive little chips that are able to take care of all the sound and everything, and you only have to keep this thing one item fresh with that. All right, so Luke with the staff. I was kind of hoping that maybe the green lightsaber would be in there somewhere, but it wasn't. It did find its way in the story in a flashback sequence, so we knew he still had it at some point. But for the remainder of time, it was, oh no! All right, you know what? I don't want to pause the video, so I'll go get his walking stick a little bit later. Let's hear what we have with.
What do you know about the Force? How did you find me? You shouldn't be here. How did you find me?
Oh, so he doesn't have a lightsaber.
No! Reach out with your feelings. No! Reach out with your feelings. No!
All right, so that's Luke for you. And let's again we gave a moment of respect, silence, respect for Admiral Akbar. Well, Admiral Akbar was not the only one to enter the netherworld of the Force. Luke Skywalker, but he didn't die outright. He became one with the Force. His body disappeared, which means I'm holding out that he will find himself. We will see a Luke Skywalker mentor moment in the episode 9. But we'll see what happens. All right, now moving on to DJ. Ooh, DJ. Ooh. But it was nice to see us in a situation where the character didn't go where you thought he was going to go. You knew he was shady, but you weren't sure how he was going to work.
Hey, I'm a thief.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a thief. I can get you out of here if the price is right. Let's get this over with. Oh, for God's sake. Let's get this over with. Oh, for God's sake.
I think that they're not using Benicio del Toro's voice. Maybe they weren't happy with, it was hard for him to understand. He did have sometimes. I did hear more of what he was saying on the second viewing than the first viewing. So, anyway, so DJ. But a unique character. Definitely a playable character. You know, in your nation. You know, certainly somebody who can have. You know, I hope he comes back. I hope we get to see him in a future episode. All right, we have Jyn Erso. Now, the sad thing is that I already have this Jyn Erso, and excuse me, Hasbro, you've done you silly goose company, you creating now figures that have the chip in them. So now I want to buy all the figures again so that I can have them have talking.
Rebellions are built on hope. A squad is headed your way. We can fight this. A squad is headed your way. Okay, on my lead. A squad is headed your way. Okay, on my lead. We can stop them.
Nice. All right. So, yay, Jyn Erso. We'll put Jyn kind of in the middle. Oh, don't fall. Okay. And we have the ever popular R2. Now, I will... I knocked over Jyn. Oh, poor Jyn. Already had a bad enough time in Rogue One. I will say that in terms of R2, I feel as though, you know, this new trilogy has kind of abandoned the old droids, giving them basically cameo parts. Although, as I said, R2 this time made an amazing appearance with Luke, which I felt was worth even him being only in that, essentially that scene. So I'm okay with that. But nonetheless, I do miss R2 because R2 saved the day. Because he's flying because he has the gas rockets there, or the power rockets. All right, good for R2. Okay, next we have General Leia. Now, I mentioned I don't think they were using DJ's voice, but I think that was Jyn. And I think that was Mark Hamill's voice, although it seemed very plain. It almost sounded like a young Mark Hamill, which is funny. I gotta say one thing. When Leia came back to life, I guess you could say when she was I guess, unconscious. But when she came back, and the first thing you see her do is shoot her stun gun at Poe, it was nice seeing a gun that was very similar to her original gun. So here we go.
Together, we can defeat the First Order. All troops, open fire! May the Force be with you. I will do everything I can to help. May the Force be with you. All troops, open fire!
I don't think that's Carrie Fisher's voice, and that could be kind of because they might have put these together and done the voices after the fact, when after poor Carrie Fisher passed away. So let's go along with that as an assumption. Although it could also be just the fact that, you know, a lot of these, whenever they have any kind of tie-in toys or games that have voiceover things, like especially computer games, a lot of times the characters are not they are not voiced by the original actors. They have, you know, they're like double actors, things like James Arnold Taylor, for example. He sometimes does a lot of those kind of things in for other actors. So, all right, now let's talk about this little dude, little Yoda. Now I'm pretty sure that whatever he's saying in the Force Link is not going to be from his appearance. Yes, his appearance, his rather substantial appearance actually, in the Last Jedi. He was definitely present. He had a very substantial scene with Mr. Mark Hamill, and it was really cool, and it was awesome, and I am so happy that he was there. I was like literally giddy. I'm going to leave his cane over there for now. I was giddy with excitement because this guy was such a perfect way to have Yoda in there.
By my size, do you?
Oh, got some old school Yoda.
Destroy the Sith. We must.
Okay, and there's some prequel Yoda.
Use the Force.
Empire Strikes Back.
Destroy the Sith. We must.
Episode 2 Yoda.
Destroy the Sith. We must. Use the Force.
I don't even know how many of these are. They're very random. I mean, this is like, these things are kind of like, for those kiddies out there, younger ones, you might not know this, but we used to have these things called pull strings. If you remember the movie Toy Story, you remember Woody had a pull string. Well, a lot of toys had the pull string, and it was just this little thing, and it would, I guess they had a pre-recorded thing. I think it was on a little record or something. I'm not even sure what the technology was, but it was very basic, and you could pull the string, and you can get maybe 3 or 4 statements, but it was totally random. It was not in any way, it wasn't like you went to one, then the next, and the next, and the next, and I went back to the first one. It was just random, and I think that does the same thing. Okay, well, while we're on Yoda, let's stick to the original trilogy, because now some people were speculating that Ewan McGregor may return, or might have returned in this movie in Last Jedi as an ObiWan to interact with Luke as well. But there was some interviewing with Rian Johnson, and he said that they considered it, but they realized that, to have Obi-Wan Kenobi there would be challenging, because you have, first of all, Alec Guinness has long since been deceased, and second of all, they could have done it with Ewan McGregor, but the problem is that Ewan, he wasn't the Ben Kenobi, he was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there's a difference. You have to consider the fact that he was not the one that was the one that interacted with Luke, so it made more sense to have Yoda there. But let's see what we got for this.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. These aren't the droids you're looking for. I felt a great disturbance in the Force. These aren't the droids you're looking for. I felt a great disturbance in the Force. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
Yes, you did, Obi-Wan. All right. Well, that's good. Really nice. And the last of these figures, we have Rey, the Island Journey. So, whatever Rey was wearing, I don't think she has her weapon. Did she ever even fire that? I don't even know if she fired that. I don't even know if she had that weapon anymore. I forget. Oh, that's right. No, she was cleaning her blaster, and during one of her scenes with Kylo Ren, a little astro projections or whatever they have, she shot the wall, made all the caretakers really angry. That was funny, actually. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to keep the weapon off here. Now, it looks like this guy, Rey, comes with a removable cloak. I'm going to keep the cloak on for now. Yeah, really, I got to tell you guys, I was so impressed with how Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill interacted with each other. It was playful. It was not mentor, or mentee or whatever. It was just didn't go where you think it was going to go, and that made it good. I mean, I don't want to go to see a movie that I know exactly how it's going to go. Okay, I want to keep guessing. Now, yeah, sometimes, I understand if it's a historical movie, you know that there's going to be certain things, but at the end of the day, you want to have some surprise.
I'm Rey. The Resistance sent me. Help me with this, quick! The Resistance sent me. You're a monster. You're a monster. Help me with this, quick! The Resistance sent me.
I think that's her. I mean, if it's not her, it's a really darn good sound alike, but I always loved her boots. I don't know why, I just loved her boots. So those are the next wave. And then we got another Rose. I hope Rose, I love that character. I just really hope that she gets a lot of fan following. Ooh, wow. This looks like we got a, oh my. We think we have, oh my, I'm trying to figure out, did they come with it? Yeah, they had an instruction thing here. That's just the Force Link. Okay. Well, all right. We have Rose. This is dressed, I keep saying Imperial. Obviously not Imperial. First Order is what I meant. And boy, Hasbro, thank you for making holsters. Holsters are such an awesome thing, because a lot of times I don't want to, especially if they come with multiple weapons, I don't want to have to keep it. I love the hat. There was a scene somewhere. Let's see. Okay, we put that like. I'm trying to think. How does that work? I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with this. Oh, unless it's like, oh. Yeah, I'm going to have to look this one up. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe it's like this. I'm guessing, maybe. I'm guessing it's like that. It's kind of a weird kind of a tripod thing, but okay, we'll take it. So let's check out.
I'm ready for my mission. Quickly, stormtroopers are coming. Quiet. We have to be careful. Take cover. We have to get out of here. Take cover. Quiet. We have to be careful.
All right, cool. So we'll put that there, and we'll put Rose in front of that gun. Oh yeah, I think she was kind of like firing something like that on the ship while Finn was fighting Phasma. And then we got our two buddies here. We got BB-8 and BB-9E. I wonder if they work. Do they work? Yep. Nice. And except now wait a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love the sounds. Yay, BB-9E. All right. What's nice is I will say this in a future episode, you can expect a Sphero unboxing, okay? BB-9E to go along with the BB-8 we have. So that was cool. All right. So this is cool. This was only like, this is a 3-pack. So and the cost of it was actually, check it out. I mean, I know that these two droids have only one point of articulation, which is the head, but still there's two droids and one figure, and I think it was under 10. So it was a pretty good deal for that. So there we have it, folks. The Last Jedi. I guess it's mostly wave 2 of the line of figures, which is mostly Last Jedi, but a couple of one Rogue One and 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 if you count R2, or actually 3. Can't count today. Sorry. Original trilogy plus Rose Tico and our 2 lovable droids, or 1 lovable droid and 1 not so lovable droid. And that will do it for this little bit extensive Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing show. Again, thank you so much for watching. And again, if you've seen the movie, which I'm assuming you have, go see it again. Okay, even if you loved it, there are things in there you're not going to believe seeing it a second time. That you missed. And also, if you didn't like it, go see it again anyway. Give it another chance, because it was a really well done movie. It was well made. It was well put together. There's a lot of good things going on. Very little was taken a chance on this. So I think it was very well done, and I certainly appreciate it. So get the word out to people, because I'm not believing the fan reaction. I appreciate people's opinions, but I don't think let me put it this way: if the people that are really that upset with it need to go on to another franchise, go watch Quentin Tarantino's R-rated Star Trek movie when it comes out, or whatever. Okay, don't bother with this anymore, because it is never going to be what you want it to be. So move on, it's something else. But I'm ready for more. So thank you so much. There will be more Last Jedi themed unboxings. Have a wonderful holiday. We're in the midst of the holiday season, and may the Force be with you. Thank you.